very important performance measure for any logistic regression model is confusion matrix. In confusion matrix, it is going to describe the performance of a classification model on a set of test data for which the true values are known. So you are going to predict how your model is performing based upon the test data. And this confusion matrix is a n cross n matrix, where n represents number of classes you are going to predict. For example, if I consider binary classification problem, in that n is only two classes to be predicted, yes or no, or true or false. So I'll get the confusion matrix as 2 cross 2 matrix. But if you have three features to be predicted, you will get the matrix as 3 cross 3 matrix. So it depends upon how many classes you have in your output. And here I have taken a binary classification problem. So I am going to consider the samples as positive sample and the negative sample. If I have a positive sample, my target class will be 1. If I have a negative sample in my output, the target class will be 0. So when you go for confusion matrix, we have totally 4 different terms in this: true positive, true negative, false positive, and then false negative. We are giving these terms based upon the actual value and the value predicted from your model. Actual value represents, if I give you the data set, what is my output label in that data set? It can be either 0 or 1. That is the actual value. Then I'm going to pass this data set to my model. I'll predict the output. So that is called as predicted value. So now this true positive is nothing but it is going to tell how many samples, for how many samples the actual value is positive and the predicted value is also positive. True means it is correctly predicting it. That means all positive is predicted as positive. All negative is predicted as negative. That is called as true. Then what is the second term indicates? How it is predicted by your model. So true positive means it is originally true. My model is also predicting as true. That is true positive. So the actual value is positive. Your model is also predicting positive. So in this, we have the value as true positive. Now, what is true negative? True negative means the model is predicting correctly and output is negative. That means actual value is negative. Your model is also predicting that as negative. So here we have true negative. Your actual value is negative, that is 0 class, and your model is also predicting as negative. So this diagonal is true value, either true positive or true negative. Now, what about these two values? They are false positive and false negative. So what is false positive now? If you see here, false. False means your model is not predicting correctly. What it is predicting? It is predicting that as positive. Okay. So what is the actual value? If the model is false and it is predicting as positive, the actual value is negative only. So we will say that actual value is negative, but it is predicted wrongly in our model as positive. It is also known as type 1 error. First two are not error, they are correct values. The last two are errors. So the false positive error is also known as type 1 error. So you can see here false positive. The actual value is negative, but my model is predicting the value as positive. This is false positive. Now, what is false negative? False means it is wrong. Your model is predicting wrong. The model is predicting wrongly as negative. That means that the original value is positive. So we will say that actual value is positive, but the model is predicting the value wrongly as negative. And this is also known as type 1 error. So that is plotted here, false negative. Your actual value is positive, but predicted value is got as negative. So these 4 parameters are very important. Now let us see what are the other things you can find out from the confusion matrix. Once the confusion matrix is given, when you print the confusion matrix, you will print only these 4 values. That is, if I give you binary classification problem, the matrix will be printed as 2 cross 2 matrix. Then from that, what are the other parameters you can measure? So here, from the confusion matrix, we can measure different parameters. The important parameters I have highlighted here. One is called as recall. Recall is also known as sensitivity. So what is the formula for this recall is TP divided by TP plus Fn. So now, what is the meaning of this? You consider recall out of all actual positive classes. What is the meaning of all actual positive classes? You consider here in this actual value will be positive. That is called as actual positive classes. Okay, that is the rectangle I have given in the red color. Okay, so what is there in the red color? TP plus Fn. Okay, so out of all actual positive classes, how many we predicted correctly. So out of these two, how many we predicted correctly? TP is nothing but we predicted the value correctly. But Fn is nothing but we predicted the value wrongly. Okay. So what is your numerator for recall is TP. And the denominator is TP plus Fn. Because it says that out of all positive classes, that is nothing but the denominator TP plus Fn, how many we have predicted correctly? That is how many is TP. And this recall should be as high as possible, because if it is high, it means that you are predicting most of the samples correctly. This is one thing. And the second is called as precision. Precision stands for out of all positive classes we have predicted. That means that you take the predicted value, in that you see how many are positive. Okay, you have predicted all these things are positive, but it is not that actually all are positive. Okay, so in that, out of those values, how many are actually positive? Here, if you see, we have TP and then FP. They are nothing but from our model, we are predicting them as positive. But how many are positive out of these two originally? Only TP is positive originally. FP stands for it is falsely predicted as positive. So you can calculate precision as TP divided by TP plus FP. This is a second term. And the third term is accuracy. Accuracy stands for it is the ratio of correctly predicted observation to the total observation. What is the total observation? If you consider this matrix, it has 4 entries: TP, FP, then Fn, and then Tn. You add everything. That is nothing but total observation. In that, how many you have predicted correctly? How many you have predicted correctly? Out of these things, whichever is true, that only you have predicted correctly. So TP and then Tn, you have predicted correctly. So we can write that accuracy is TP plus Tn divided by TP plus Tn plus FP plus Fn. And the next measure is called as F1 score. This F1 score is nothing but it is the weighted average of precision and recall. And here they are using the concept of harmonic mean instead of arithmetic mean. So the F1 score is calculated by this particular formula. This is harmonic mean. Harmonic mean is nothing but 1 divided by recall plus 1 by precision divided by 2. That is the mean. Okay. And the inverse of that, that is called as F1 score. If you find the final value, it is nothing but 2 multiplied by precision plus recall divided by precision plus recall. Once you calculate this, you can apply and you can find the value of F1 score. And another parameter is called as specificity. This is nothing but it is the ratio of total number of true negatives divided by number of true negatives plus number of false positives. Now, let us see one example to understand this confusion matrix and other parameter calculation. Now, this is my part of the data set. I have given only the output column, that is the actual value of my data set. I have taken totally 7 samples. This is the actual value listed. I am passing the data set to my logistic regression model. I am predicting the value. The predicted value from the model is listed here. Now I am going to find the value of these parameters. Let us understand now how to fill the confusion matrix. Now let us understand the first term. The first term is actual, it belongs to actual value is positive, that is 1, and predicted value is also positive, that is 1. Okay, in your table, you see where you have the value as 1, 1. In this row, I have 1, 1, and in this row also I have 1, 1. So in totally 2 rows, I have 1, 1. Therefore, I will write the value of true positive as 2. Now, what is this term? Actual value is negative, that is 0, and predicted value is positive, 1. So in this table, you search for 0, 1. Okay, because the first column here I have written actual value. So search for 0, 1. Here this is 0, 1. Where else I have 0, 1? Nothing. So I have 0, 1 in only one row. So false positive is 1. Now let us understand this one, false negative. False negative is nothing but your actual value is 1 and the predicted value is 0. So in that table, you search for 1, 0, row with 1, 0. In this row, I have 1, 0. In this row also, I have 1, 0. There are 2 rows with that. So false negative is 2. Now, what is true negative? Actual is negative. You predicted correctly as negative. So search for 0, 0. So I have 0, 0 in this row and then in this row also. So 2 rows I have with 0, 0. So true negative is also 2. Now apply the formula and calculate the value of recall, precision, accuracy, and so on. Recall is nothing but TP divided by TP plus Fn. Here TP is 2 and then Fn is 2. So I will get 2 divided by 4, that is nothing but 1 by 2 for recall. And precision is Tp divided by Tp plus Fp. Tp is 2 here and Fp is 1. If you apply this formula, you will get 2 by 3. And accuracy is Tp plus Tn divided by all the 4 values added together. So Tp is 2, Tn is 2. And if you add all the 4 values, you will get total number of samples in your model you have taken for that. So 4 by 7, this is the accuracy. So if you see this, the accuracy is not that much good. It is nearing 50% only. Here, other terms are playing major roles. Whenever the data set is not balanced, whenever data set is imbalanced, we will never go for accuracy. What is the meaning of imbalanced data set is, when you go for a medical data set, you are going to a hospital, you are collecting a data set about cancer patient. When they give you the data set, suppose if they give you details about 1,000 patients, it's not that all the 1,000 patients output will be cancer. Many will not have cancer. Cancer patients will be very less only. So in that, if out of 1,000 samples, only 10 patients are with cancer, you see the difference between the classes. 10 with no cancer and remaining 990 with that is without cancer. So this is called as imbalanced data set. The number of positive samples and number of negative samples are not balanced. So in that particular case, if you use accuracy to predict the performance of the model, definitely it will not work well. ROC stands for receiver operator characteristics curve. Okay, so here you can also plot this curve, and this curve is nothing but it is a commonly used graph that is going to summarize the performance of a classifier over all possible thresholds. Just now in the logistic regression, I told that it is based only upon the threshold. If you set the threshold as 0.5, if your output of the sigmoid function is greater than 0.5, it will predict the output as 1. If it is less than 0.5, it will predict the probability as 0. Okay. So the setting of the threshold plays a major role in that. Suppose instead of 0.5, if I set the threshold as 7, my output will be predicted differently. Okay. So this curve is going to tell you the performance of the classifier over all possible thresholds. And how to generate this particular curve is, you have to plot the true positive rate in the y-axis and then false positive rate in the x-axis. You can see here, false positive is plotted in the x-axis and true positive is plotted in the y-axis. And you are going to vary the threshold for different values. Okay, that we will see in the next graph. So you are going to plot between false positive and then true positive, and you can vary the threshold. And in this, if you see here, there are two different things you can see in the graph. One is the dotted diagonal line in this graph. Okay, this is nothing but no predictive value. It is not the output of your classifier. Instead, it is used as some baselines. Baseline is nothing but some reference. With that, you can see how your model is performing. Okay, so as a baseline, a random classifier is expected to give the points lying along the diagonal. If you see this line, here you will see that FPR will be equal to TPR. Then only we will get the diagonal. When this is 20, this is also 20, 40, 40, 60, 60, and so on. So this is our diagonal that is used only as a reference line. And this curve is the output of our classifier. That is nothing but logistic regression classifier. And this classifier output, how to predict is, you have to see whether this curve is closer to this particular point. Here you have your final point. Okay, if your curve is closer to this point, it means that your model is performing best. Okay, so let me see here. Classifiers that give curve closer to the top left corner indicate a better performance. So if this curve is closer to this top left corner, it means your performance is better. And suppose if the curve is coming closer to this particular line, this line is nothing but 45-degree diagonal line. If this curve is closer to this particular line, we can say that it is not performing better, it is less accurate curve only. So from this curve and seeing whether it is close to this particular part or the diagonal line, you can see how you can say how your model is performing. Now let us see the last slide. Here you can see this is the red color line indicates the output from a random classifier where we have the 45-degree line, and there are three different curves. One is blue color, another is orange, another is green. Okay, they are nothing but output from different threshold level setting. Now, which one you can say as the better curve is the blue color one, because this curve is closer to the top left corner. As soon as it is coming closer to the diagonal line, it means it is not perfect. So you can say when you move away from this, it is performing better. And when you are coming closer to this, it is performing worst. Likewise, you can print the ROC curve and you can say the performance of your model.